I'm Elise Jordan. I am a political analyst for MSNBC and NBC News, and I'm thrilled to be here with His Excellency. So welcome to this roundtable on what it takes to make the great digital leap a reality. And I'm honored to have this conversation with His Excellency Masood M. Sharif, who has done such incredible work as the CEO of E&, making the UAE operation here one of the region's most innovative telecoms. So as telecoms are evolving from basic connectivity to full-scale digital transformation, E& has been at the forefront of this change. Under his leadership, E& has played a crucial role establishing the Emirates as one of the world's most digitally advanced societies. And I can just say, on a personal note, being here this week, it is just amazing how good the service is. It's so much better than New York City. I can't believe it, but that's another topic. So yes, come and fix New York City.
I'd love to get that on a clip and distribute it with your permission.
This morning we'll explore what it takes to turn the great digital leap into a reality and how telecoms drive economic change. So thank you so much for being here.
So thank you, it's really a pleasure, and thank you. Very good start of the panel, to be quite honest, with the praise that you've given us, and not to be. I mean, I'm always accused of being too humble, but I'll be honest. This is an accolade that I'll take and happily take. The network investment that we've done over the past decades and the last few years is something that we take very, very seriously. So to answer your questions, what we're doing from our end, excuse me, to make sure that we're always resilient is an investment on many folds. There is the human capital part of the investment when it comes to our employees and our talent that we attract from around the world and develop locally here and regionally, but also when it comes to the infrastructure and the...
That's exactly what I wanted to ask you about. So how do you maintain the infrastructure you need as digitization develops? And
so that's an interesting question, and if you asked me that question last year or let's say 2 years ago, the answer would have been different. When it comes to digital transformation, what you want to make sure that you have a seamless, and this is our commitment and this is our promise, to have a seamless connectivity wherever you are, a deep connectivity that is uninterrupted, reliable, works with the depth that is required for all sorts of new applications. Today we're supporting the applications, and these have been, I would say, years into the making, if not a decade or more. When you talk about smart city applications and enablement, this requires a network that is deep in capacity, but also that is low in latency in terms of speed and speed of the response. When you talk about different type of use cases that are out there today, what we call IoT, Internet of Things, and the smart metering that is required for organizations, enterprises, and government entities to run their business and run it efficiently, it all relies on a network that is resilient, also that is smart in terms of the way it operates. And this is a commitment that we've made over the last decades. Let me give you an example. We had a smart city project that we developed in the city of Dubai a few years back. And that project today, it's about efficient waste management. The impact that it had in terms of reduction of labor hours, increase in productivity 30 to 40%, reduction in waste, reduction even noise monitoring for noise pollution as well. The reduction of that within that project area. Another project that we've recently launched and embarked on, and I'm truly proud that we signed up the largest 5G private network in the world when it comes to the energy sector with our partner ADNOC. This is a testament to the thought leadership that both sides, from E&, and ADNOC side as well, where we're developing a private 5G network over 11,000 square kilometers. Now you tell me what's so special about it? What's so special about it is that today you have the ability for that particular organization to maintain the sovereignty of its data, to increase the efficiency of its operation when it comes to the oil fields, be it offshore or onshore as well, to make sure that their IoT and their sort of smart solution and smart metering investments over there is truly enabled. That would help in efficiency, not only in terms of managing hours and reducing hours and increasing productivity, but also reducing waste when it comes to production, which is a very important aspect. It will enable their AI ambition. So the investment is manifold on the infrastructure, be it the fiber, be it the network. One last thing, before we move on, we're truly proud that EA and UAE today, and the UAE actually, from a telecom sector point of view, and this comes back to your point that you made, we've scored this year the fastest mobile network in the world as a country and the fastest fixed network, internet network in the world. And we had those two accolades combined together. It's the first time since this assessment was done that a country that had both of those accolades together. It's a testament to the investment that we make. We look forward when we invest. We don't just look the next couple of years. And also a testament today that with the compute demand that AI is sort of generating, we're able to satisfy that demand from our data centers, from our cloud, from our fiber, from our sort of even our own investment, our own compute capabilities.
Let's move on to AI, because that is the big topic that everyone is talking about at this conference, and it has just dominated conversation since ChatGPT went live about 15 months ago. And the leaps and bounds of AI, just even within the last 6 months, the last 3 months. So can you talk about how you're thinking on AI as it relates to telecommunications, how it's changed over these last 15 months since ChatGPT hit the world stage?
So it is a work in progress, as everyone knows. It is something that is evolving day by day. Maybe I'll take you through the journey of it's been a journey for the last 15 to 20, I would say 22 months in terms of how we've been thinking about it. And to be quite honest, the thinking has started even from our end before that, because our planning cycle is a bit longer than that. So, and I see some of my colleagues here in the audience who've been with me throughout that journey. And so initially what we said is that, let's go and let's develop a framework across the organization. And let's explore every use cases where AI could be beneficial and where AI could be put into positive force, be it either to improve a revenue proposition or to create efficiency. And we boiled the ocean, so to speak. And we went and we generated something around 800 use cases across all the organization, from every department you can imagine, be it finance, be it HR, be it on the network side, and on CVM, customer value management, all aspects of the organization. And we started thinking with each of those use cases. Fast forward a few months after that, and what we realized is that, boiling the ocean is not giving us the results. It's given us results, but not in the speed that we'd like it to sort of achieve it. Then we started thinking in a verticalized approach. Let's look at a certain vertical, and let's, for sake of example, customer value management, and let's maximize the AI use cases there, and I'll see what happens there. And we started experimenting, and we started seeing fruitful results. In customer care as well, in fulfillment, one of the exciting use cases that we developed, and this is something that, while it might sound small, but honestly, it was the beginning of the green shoots of promises that a lot of our care issues when it comes to our fixed network comes to the issue of a very simple sort of router configuration. So you need to set up a router, we get a call to our call center, and the response would be, okay, why don't you reboot or reset the router? And that would be a simple solution. That takes care of 30-40% of the issues. Most of the time, it's a very simple sort of debugging 101 step. What we realize is that the customers over the phone, they're not actually doing it correctly, even though it's a simple procedure. So we had an AI algorithm, a visual AI algorithm that was developed in-house. And this algorithm basically, and we, with the permission of the end user, we would activate the camera on the phone of the end user and would have it directed towards the router. And the AI algorithm visually would identify what's wrong in terms of the connections to the router and would suggest the right solution, would guide the customer. And guess what? We had 30 to 40% reduction in truck rolls. This would have been a truck roll to the customer, would go and have to do it physically. Talk about not only the productivity gain, talk about the ESG impact that you have on that. And this is on a smaller scale, and try to bring this to a larger scale. So this is some of the beginning in terms of the green shoots of the use cases. Full circle, and now we're back in a position where we're seeing, you know what, when it comes to AI, you cannot afford to be too rigid and to have too many rules in terms of where and what you will apply the AI capabilities. You'll have to be flexible. So we're back to the same point where we started, where now we're back to 1,200 use cases across the organization. And I'm encouraging everyone in the organization, please experiment, and please go and see what can you delegate in terms of AI capabilities and decision making. And to be quite honest, it's fun, it's experimental, and beneficial. We're starting to see to bear the fruits of that. Lastly, we said, let's also, this is looking inward in terms of the organization. What can we do? As EANT, formerly known as Salat, we've been the organization who was always at the forefront of technology when it came to the mobile sort of technology, be it 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, when it came to the first fixed operator in the Middle East and the region. So today, we need to be at the forefront, and we were on the forefront when it came to AI. We said, what can we do to our customers without them having to go and invest a ton of money in order for them to start utilize AI? So we have the service AI as a service. We work with whomever out there who's developing a model, from the ChatGPT to the Llamas to the Gemini 2.0 to the locally produced models like Jace, and also we recently signed up an agreement with Aleria, where it's a very dedicated model. And there's one last point on that. I know we might be running out of time, but this is a case study where we went and a local law firm, I will not give the name of the firm, but it was really thought leader when it came to AI. I said, okay, what can we do using an AI application for us to improve our assessment of the cases and to do the work, the assessment that the analyst would do to assess the probability of success in a case. And this is typically an engagement that would take 1 to 2 months and would take few legals and paralegals. Well, guess what? The model did it within 1 day and assessed the case that it has a 60% chances of success, and it gave 2 to 3 different strategies of how to go about it. So we're seeing some of the promises when it comes to AI. We're engaged in it internally, we're engaged in it as a service to our customers. But if you ask me a question, is this it? Is this what the AI promise is? Absolutely not. We're, as the previous speaker was saying, we are just at the beginning. Mm-hmm. And I would say at the experimental beginning. All of what I mentioned and all what you hear is just at the experimental infancy beginnings of the beginning. And we're very eager, and it's going to go through ups and downs. And I think the recent month has been quite a turmoil, but we have a long-term sort of approach when it comes to technology, and we put our investment behind it.
Oh, it's fascinating. Can I have one more question, or do we need to close? Oh, I'm so disappointed. I could talk to you all day, but I am getting silent. So unfortunately, our conversation has to come to a close, but I really need that app to help me not ever have to wait on the cable guy again. That could really improve my quality of life. It is such a drain on time. So we need to get that in the U.S.
Absolutely. Okay. And again, this is something that the team members are here that can help you with that. But I have to say, when it comes to the role of the telecom sector, and maybe one last thought before we close, with the permission of the organizers, the telecom sector, historically, in the last couple of decades, have been going through tremendous challenges and been what we call existential type of challenges. Why? Because the telecom sector have been relaxed when it comes to what is required to change. Other sectors took over. We talk about the OTT, the digital apps. Today, the digital apps are forcing the telecommunications sector to start offering telecommunication for free when it comes to voice by the different sort of messaging apps that you have here. When it comes to enterprise segment as well, there are a lot of players who came and challenged our business. We did not challenge ourselves. The last 20 years, the telecom sector, at every board and every sort of meeting, shareholder meeting, have been asking and looking inward, what can we do to change? The answer was, and our answer was 3-4 years ago, we need to transform from a traditional telco to what we call a global techco. What does that mean? That means we become agile, digitally enabled and native from the inside, and we venture into different adjacencies, be it consumer digital adjacencies like the fintech segment that we have with our Money app, like if you talk about sort of the solutions realm, when you talk about Enterprise as a different company, and also expand internationally. But at the gist of it, at the heart of it, truly reinvent the system from the inside and focus on the customer with customer centricity. Today, 90% of our services are done on the app. 90%. And 90% of those services are done and relying on a bedrock of a very, very, very solid network. And the thinking has been for the last few years, if you don't focus on what you do best, and if you don't treat your customer in the way that they should be treated, eventually as an organization, that's a recipe for disaster. And that's what we've done. All of our metrics when it comes to customer centricity and customer experience has improved. Our NPS improved by 20%. Our volume to our call centers dropped by 40%. Our ratings when it comes to into different app ratings, and truly this has been an investment process the last 3 years by focusing on what we do best, by focusing on servicing our customers, be it consumer, enterprise, or government. Once you focus on what is your value proposition to your end customers and invest behind it and mobilize the whole organization behind it, everything else follows through, including financial returns, including operational performance.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much.